Hello, everyone. Episode 21, Season 3, Green Effect Podcast. Here we go. Two things today. So, yeah, this is a special edition. How cool is that, man? I have a special edition of my podcast, okay? And the reason for that is the last week has just been crazy stuff going on in the economy, rates, Tiffyboy at Bank of Canada, JT and the Disney Plus lady with the Liberals. It's been quite the little roller coaster. I unpack all the stuff going on, okay, as much as I can, because remember, I'm not like an economics major. I'm just like a mortgage rate economy nerd guy, okay? The other thing I talk about is my amazing excuse for missing producing my episode last week. I actually talk about my family and what was going on and the forest fires and reasons why you maybe don't want to travel with my wife or anyone associated with her. Okay? Anyway, without further ado, God, I hope she's not listening. Here we go.
Welcome to the Green Effect Podcast. Finance, life, business, and everything in between. And now, your host, Stephen Green.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Green Effect Podcast, Season 3, Episode 21. Yeah, I've been off for a couple of weeks. Amazing excuse as to the reason why, which I will talk about actually right at the top of the episode. But this is definitely a special edition. Obviously, in my role as a mortgage agent, I get a lot of questions around basically what the hell's going on. It's just, I've used this term before. It's like the shit show at the fuck factory. Like, what is going on, right? It's like we pivot and we pause and we spend more. And, Tiffyboy, God bless him, I think he's fighting a losing battle. And then you got JT spending money as he said before, I mean, debt has really no consequences anyway. So, we're going to talk about just what the hell is going on. Last week was really, really telling as to the state of where things are and where they may actually end up going. So that's what kind of makes this a bit of a special edition. There was just a culmination of stuff that happened, and it really is going to give us a good indicator of what could possibly happen. Anyway, right off the top of the show, I did want to mention my really good excuse for being off the show for a couple of weeks now. So my family, on my wife's side, my in-laws live down in, of course, Southwestern Nova Scotia, where I'm sure most of you have heard there was obviously the very tragic forest fires. And of course, luck would have it, because for those of you who don't know, when my wife and I drove down last year to see them, I think it was like last September or something like that. uh, we drove down, and of course the luck that, more so my wife, not me, it's more really my wife with the bad luck, but I digress. We were supposed to be on the ferry between St. John, New Brunswick and Digby, Nova Scotia, the day of the hurricane. Okay, so we have a little bit of experience with bad weather down east. Anyway, as luck would have it, and I'm going to make my daughter Emily an extension of my wife in this scenario, whereby we were down there for a brief, week away, visiting, her grandparents, my in-laws, when the forest fires came. So I think if you want to know when bad weather's coming to the Maritimes, call me. I'll let you know when I'm trying to have a vacation down there. Anyway, regardless, so it's actually kind of tragic what's gone on. And obviously, the Maritimes are used to hurricanes and other and snow and ice disasters. Forest fires are not on the list. So this is something newer for them, and there's such incredible nice people down there. These forest fires, there was one up by Halifax, one down in the Shelburne area, again, southwestern Nova Scotia, where my in-laws were. So we were down there. I had to help them evacuate. It went from a recommended evacuation due to the forest fires to mandatory. Thank God it's not a heavily populated area, because it's not like the scenes that you see in the Carolinas or Florida when they have to evacuate with lineups and gas stations running out of gas and stuff. But regardless, I've never had to try to evacuate a family before to get them out. Anyway, we evacuated them. Everybody's safe. Nobody got hurt, thank goodness. And at last check, when the forest fires were still out of control, they're under control now. But from what we know, the fire was like 200 meters from their home. So very, very lucky. There were definitely people in the area that had lost everything, flattened homes, the whole bit. So believe me, folks, we saw the smoke. We've seen pictures. That stuff is real. Like it really did devastate that area. So as of today, I'm recording this week of June 11th. They are back into the house. They're cleaning up. Apparently, when food sits in a fridge and freezer with no power for 2.5 weeks, it's not real pleasant to clean up. I heard my mother-in-law had to clean up melted ice cream in a freezer, which is obviously also not delightful for anybody. Anyway, listen, I know with all the world disaster and everything going on, just always make sure, we got to make sure that our fellow Canadians are taken care of. So if you have anyone down east or whatever, make sure you check in with them. Okay? All right, so enough of that. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this podcast, which is obviously just the insane, crazy stuff going on right now. So let me take you back to last week when the Bank of Canada raised the overnight lending rate, because I think I need to explain what has happened historically a little bit, and then what the hell's going on now. Okay, so Bank of Canada increased the prime lending rate by 25 basis points, 0.25. Okay, that in isolation, listen, the way things are right now, what's another 25 basis points? Like, really, right? So that's one thing. However, looking back to what transpired to lead to that, in talking to people, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I have really smart friends, but I'm shocked when I hear that the bond market and analysts, they weren't expecting this. I was telling people, and people will know this, the increase is probable. Like, it's probably going to happen at least 25 bips, where we had inflation slightly uptick, just slightly. Okay, led by, of course, grocery and housing expenses, where, shocker, like, you keep increasing prime rate, you have record immigration, nowhere to go, rent's going to go up. The hell do you think is going to happen, right? And remember, I've been saying this for months. Record immigration, no one's selling because they like their low rates, no one can afford to buy, nobody's building. The hell do you think is going to happen? Okay, so anyway, rates go up 25 bips. Again, in isolation, not a big deal. But the shock is really what we need to talk about. So 10 a.m. Eastern Time last Wednesday, they announced the increase. 10:01 a.m., okay, the bond market, which apparently was shocked by this, okay, immediately bond prices go up. Like, immediately bond prices go up. Why is this important, and why am I talking about it? You got to remember, variable rate mortgages and fixed rates. Variable rate mortgages are mainly, again, I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole on this, but they're mainly managed through the prime lending rate that Bank of Canada dictates, right? So Bank of Canada does a rate change or an announcement or whatever, and then the banks decide what they're doing with their prime rate, okay? So that impacts all of our friends with variable rate mortgages. Why the bond prices are important is when that goes up or down, because we're inverted. Again, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole right now, but bond prices go up, interest rates on the fixed side go up. So I would say in the last 5-6 days, well, since Wednesday, do some quick math here, fixed rates have gone up, 20, 30, some 40 basis points. Okay, that is significant. So we have a bond market that is traditionally a leading indicator on rates not expecting Bank of Canada to do what they did. So I don't really fault Tiffyboy, which, good God, I can't believe I'm saying that on a recording, but that's basically what happened. Now, I don't understand how the Bank of Canada is is really predicting things, because now what's happening, just buckle up your seatbelts, we are now, the markets analysts, apparently they're awake now, are now predicting a probable Bank of Canada increase again in July. Okay, so that's probably going to happen. And so now we're going from a Bank of Canada who chose to pause. Okay, they're backtracking just a few months later. So what it was, this half-ass pause that you were speaking of, because you gotta let this funnel through. Now, I understand that things are happening that may force them into making those choices. That's their job. Get inflation under control. But are we jumping the gun? Because I think this 25 basis point thing, the only thing this is going to do, because like I've said, 25 bips at this point, child's play. Who cares, right? But this 25 basis points, what it's going to do, it's going to sting consumer sentiment. This is the problem. We are very emotional here in Canada, okay? We like to feel good about what we're buying. If we hear that there's stuff going on, we start to retract a little bit, okay? We got to feel good here in Canada about what we're doing, what we're buying, etc. So I think that's more of what this 25 bips is going to do. And I think Bank of Canada, I don't know, man. They got to kind of decide what they're going to do here, okay? Because they are struggling with credibility. Here I am talking about, Tiff Macklin as Tiffyboy. Like, seriously, okay? So we've got a Bank of Canada now. Let's look back at their history, okay? Get up in front of us, spend, folks. They tell us, go spend. Rates are going to be low for years. Fantastic, right? What do Canadians do? Because like I said, they want to feel good about themselves. They want to feel good about the market. Consumer sentiment is important. They go spend. The hell do you think's going to happen? We all did, for the most part. Okay? Anyone who says, well, I knew this was going to happen, really? Really? Stop it. Okay? So we got them going out and saying, go spend to your heart's delight. And then if you come back, just remember this. January 2022, when the housing market hit its height, they stalled. They waited too long to increase rates. We were all screaming bloody murder at this, okay? You've got to slow. People were like, slow this truck down. No, we still believe in what we're doing. We're going to keep rates where they are low, at a 0.25%. They waited until, I believe it was March or April 2022, to start to get on their horse to increase rates, okay? Now fast forward to the beginning of this year, well, we're going to pause. We're pretty confident, and now the pause only lasted a month or two. Like, guys, why are you always wrong? Now, I might have the answer to this. So, I can't believe I'm being recorded saying this, but Tiffyboy this time around, he might not be totally wrong. So, let's keep going with what the hell's gone on last week, okay? And really for the last couple of weeks. So, I want to say this again. We've got record immigration. Builders are not building. They can't afford to build, and they don't want to get into this mess, okay? People are not selling because their rates are low. Maybe they can't afford it. They've lost jobs, making less money, whatever. And buyers are struggling to afford things, okay? But let's talk about immigration. And this is going to bring me into the Liberal government. And I don't care if you're Liberal, NDP, Conservative. That's not where I'm going with this. Just forget that they're part of a party. Let's just talk about what the federal government is doing, okay? Forget about party lines, whatever. Because I think, I know the Liberals have a history of spending, right? Anyone in Ontario will remember the Kathleen Wynne saga, all right? And I think my thought here is JT, when the next election comes up, this is going to be Kathleen Wynne 2.0 all over again. And it's like, find us someone to take over and get this guy out of here. Okay. Anyway, let's talk about the feds. So, two crazy statistics that came out last week. Okay. Last week or the week before. Can't remember. It doesn't matter. Q1. Please tell me you're sitting down before you hear what I'm about to say. Q1. We had 183,000 new non-permanent residents, okay, student visa, work visa, etc., admitted to Canada. Like, that, that is so off the charts, it's insanity. Folks, we have nowhere to put the people that we have right now in housing, okay? Rents are going up everywhere. Like, I mean, St. John's, right out to Victoria. Like, it's insane right now, okay? Folks that are temporary, 183,000. Being in Southwestern Ontario, let's face it, they're probably, most of those folks, are probably coming here. If someone's got stats on where non-permanent residents folks normally go to within Canada, please let me know, okay? On top of that, just for shits and giggles, okay? Q1, we had 150,000 new permanent residents, okay? Do you hear my calculator? I'm going to do some really quick math here. 150,000 plus 183,000. So, in 3 months, that's a quarter of 12. I know, math genius. 333,000 new Canadians. Okay, obviously, yes, I know new Canadian on the permanent resident side and 183 non-permanent residents. I understand they're not technically Canadian, but 333,000 new people among us. Okay, what the hell, man? And I know immigration. Listen, I am the son of an immigrant. Okay, I get it. However, we don't have anywhere to put people, guys. I mean, I'm all for immigration, man. Yeah, bring them in. I'm so excited for that. We need it. We have more deaths than births right now. However, what is the quality of life, not only for these folks coming in, but for the folks that live here already? Okay, so Liberal government, hey, listen, that's their thing, more and more immigration. I get it, okay? But let's just keep going what the federal government's doing right now. And this is where I'm going to get into, I don't know if Tiffyboy is going to win this, okay? I don't know if you heard, Bill C-47, okay? The Liberal government has passed a bill to increase their deficit. That means money they don't got, by 20, drumroll please. You would think, million. No, $20 billion. Okay? This includes such things as, that dental bill that the NDP wanted. We always joke that the NDP is in the back pocket of JT. Kind of what this is. Dental bill. Okay? Certain income houses get now a grocery rebate. Okay? So our government, and this is where my title of the podcast comes in, we're all here on planet Earth, okay? JT and Disney Plus lady, all right, I'll talk about her in a sec. JT and Disney Plus lady, they're on the moon right now. I don't know mentally where they're at, but maybe they're just trying to make the most out of their last term in office. Yeah, I said it. But what the hell are we doing? Okay? I know folks are struggling. I'm not debating that here. I'm not saying don't give money to people who are in need. I'm not saying that. Guys, every Canadian right now is being almost told, stop freaking spending money. You guys are spending more. Well, guess what? Where that money's going to come from? Our bloody taxes. Do I need to keep going on with this? So, you got the feds spending money like it's going out of style. I'm pretty sure the Epson printers are running somewhere. Like, they got to be printing money because there's no other friggin' money to be had. And then you got Tiffyboy trying to get shit under control. This is never going to happen. Like, explain to me how this is going to work, because this is what we're going into right now. Fed spending money like it's going out of style. Tiffyboy's jacking up rates, and it's going to keep going. Because inflation, you put money in people's pocket. These are inflationary measures. You give me $500 for my groceries, I'm going to go spend it. Guys, I said it in a previous podcast. Tiffy, JT, get together and talk, my friends. Please. This is insane. So this is context behind what's going on. Okay? I don't know. Does Tiffyboy have to accept maybe inflation at 4% is where it's at? That's our new target. Right? Just like what do they say? 60 is the new 40. Whatever. Okay? I don't know. I don't know that answer, right? I'm not paid enough to be that sort of an economist. But this is going to keep going on. This is going to be a battle that is not going to get won. Okay? So I'm all kind of pumped up about this because when you really sit back and you look at what the hell's going on, this is not going to end. There's no end here, right? And so something's got to give. Someone is going to have to plunge us into a recession. Plunge, not tip-tap in, plunge. It has to happen. We have far too many people with jobs. Isn't that crazy? We have too many people with jobs. We need unemployment. It's not happening because people keep spending damn money that they've got. Household debt? I'm telling you right now, I see clients all the time. Okay? I don't know, 10, 15, 20 appointments a week. Okay? I'm telling you right now, they're not buying their food or car repairs from their income. They're buying it from their lines of credit, their credit cards. There's no money. So if we keep $20 billion in deficit spending and keep this boat afloat, that was good, that rhymed. This boat afloat, it's going to get worse. So this is what is going on. That's why I kind of marked this as a special edition, because it's like, everyone's like, what's going on? Why are rates going up? Why are the fixed rates going up? Like, what? Stephen, you told us that the two markets are different. Yeah, they are until they correlate like this because someone misjudged and missed the boat somewhere. So anyway, this has to get under control. What is the solution? I don't know, man. Honestly, JT's got to figure some shit out here. Him and Disney Plus lady. Oh, and Christine Freeland. I would encourage you, okay? Anyone listening to this podcast, just YouTube and search Christina Freeland interviews. I swear, people ask that Disney Plus lady questions, and I have never, maybe I have, but I've never heard responses from a politician that blank. Like, someone's like, and there was one around inflation and Bill C-47, and just to kind of paint a picture, someone was like, hey, tell us more about how you feel about the Bank of Canada's move on the prime lending rate, right? Her answer, yeah, so this weekend I had a barbecue with my friends, and the sky was blue. And I work in Ottawa, and Canada is spelled capital C-A. Like, she's blank, man. I don't know what that girl is thinking. Either that, or she's a bloody genius. I don't know. It might be the latter. Maybe she's been so trained into saying nothing and answer no questions that she's just better than all of us. But if she's the one that's in charge of anything, we got some problems. That's all I'm saying. All right. That's enough. That is my special edition. What the hell's going on right now? I don't know any other way to title this, but if you have any questions, let me know. I would love to know in the comments, on the podcast, on social media, on YouTube, whatever. I would love to know, how do we fix this? How do we fix it? Do we cut immigration in half temporarily? We can't stop immigration. We cannot. I get it. It's all good. But, do we change criteria? Do we, do we deal with JT and get him out of here? Like, I don't even know. I don't even know. Love to hear your comments. Hopefully I'll make sure I get my podcast done, because I'm out of really, really good excuses. Get it done on a weekly basis. And other than that, hey, don't forget, 5 stars, love me, like me, follow me, want me, whatever. Share my podcast. I would love that. And until next time, we will talk to you soon.
Thank you for listening to the Green Effect Podcast. Subscribe to this podcast on iTunes or Google Play so you catch the next episode. And don't forget to leave a review. Much appreciated.